No one knows how it's doing. Mm. All you need is 9 points a day. That's it. You don't need to do anything cute or nothing. Damn it. Ah, damn, 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 damn. Mm. You just gotta be mindful that the trend line is there. Hey, yo, what's up, Alfred? Yeah, I think the market's probably is going to it's going to probably just sit here for the rest of the night. And with tomorrow's news, we have liquidity sitting on both sides of the market right now. So we could see a run on this liquidity underneath these lows, and we can see a run on the liquidity above these highs. We have all the EMAs though in one spot, so that kind of tells me that this can go either way. I would actually sit on my hands tonight because we have all the medium. We have the medium, the short, medium, and long term EMAs trading in a range. They're trading flat in a range right now, trading to the left. So this is not the best market conditions to be in any position. That means that the market is undecided. Obviously, the bears, they're not following through because the bulls are holding the pullback. You can see that the bulls are holding this. And then the bears isn't giving this up because you can see as bulls try to take this thing higher, you can see that the bears are actually holding it. So, well, we got a bunch of buy stops above these highs right here. And then we got a bunch of sell stops underneath these lows right here. So it's definitely going to be a big run on liquidity come tomorrow's news for sure. You say you took the night off from the charts? Yeah, I mean, after today, the Nasdaq was definitely this was a account collection day for sure for the Nasdaq. This was account collection day for her. When she passes you the plate, you got to tell her no. You got to tell her no. Alfred, you got to tell her no. Me and Alfred was talking about that earlier. So I'm gonna start saying that shit. You got to tell the Nasdaq no when she comes around with that collection plate. Yeah, this is definitely a tug of war between the bulls and the bears here. The market just has been it's just been undecided. The market doesn't know what it wants to do. I might be uh I might be on the wrong side of this gold play. I may be on the wrong side of this, but I'm gonna let it play out though. I'm gonna let it play out. If we can get that trend line break, then I should be good. But gold trends and moves so much now. I have a 9 point policy with gold, but man, she's been trending so much, and all I'm taking is 9 points away from her with a great entry. It kind of makes me want to go and grab a little bit more. Hmm. Yeah, so hmm. Yeah, I think tonight's just gonna be another one of those nights, man. Tonight's gonna be another one of those nights. Yeah, I take that as a compliment. I take that as a compliment, Alfred. You know what's crazy? Uh, I was talking to one of my colleagues, and I said, you know what's crazy? Until I reached a certain point in life, these spammers, I hadn't before a certain point, I did not receive a phishing email. I did not receive a phishing email. All I got was junk. Junk, junk, junk. Then all of a sudden I got my first phishing email and I was like, yo, that's what I'm talking about. I'm worth the scammer's time now. I'm worth the scammer's time. I'm worth their time. That's a compliment. All right. So it does look like we're gonna get in a break. So yeah, so this trend line right here on gold. So this is the gold short that I'm in. My only concern is this trend line. My only concern. I don't think the market pushes up because I mean we took out this high on gold. Obviously, I didn't get the perfect entry, but I don't know, man. This might be a tough one right here. This might be a tough one. Who you which instrument were you creeping with Investor Z? I mean, shit. ES, they don't they say that they say only certain types of people stay out after 11 o'clock. ES isn't one of them. Has a bedtime between 8 and 9 o'clock at night. If you're not in something, you just shit, she's just gonna chop. She's in bed at them hours. And the only people that's out at that hours is Nasdaq and Gold, especially gold. Gold is out at all hours. All hours of the day, gold is out. So I'm gonna make the assumption that you was creeping with gold because oh my god, yo, what? I figured as much, Investor Z. I figured as much. The only people outside this late at night is Nasdaq and Gold. Because ES goes to bed at 9 o'clock. She's in bed. She has to get up early in the morning. Shit. He said GCB scamming at all times. ES traders will have a better. It's better for ES traders to adjust to gold. Even though I'm seeing an influx of Nasdaq traders go to gold, myself included. Like I said, you can't. So I have rules with gold to protect myself from her craziness. That's why I do not take trades past a certain time with gold because gold gets real loose. She gets really loose as the night goes on. Sometimes it's like, dude, she gets so loose she don't stop. Like she's like, oh shit, I'm supposed to retrace and rebalance that area of supply. Let me go and do that real quick, and then you'll get like a big giant ass move like this. Like she gets really loose after a certain time frame. That's why I don't trade her because it's not reliable. Past 10 o'clock, like from 9:30, 9:30 is probably last call for gold for me. Last call. She gets loose after 10. As Investor Z says, she takes her teeth out after 10. Shit, you think you lose your account during regular hours? Shit, she'll snatch that shit after hours. Gold is ruthless. I will give you that. But just like what do you call it, a puffer fish? You prepare it correctly. You remove all the poison glands before you prepare it. It is a delicacy, and gold is definitely one of those delicacies. Dangerous, but if you maneuver correctly with gold, she will pay you. She will pay you. And that time frame is around 7:30 on both sides of the clock to 8 o'clock. If you can get into something around 7:30, yeah. So yeah, this happened around like 7:30 right here. Yeah, I mean, she does the same shit all the time. 7:30 to 8 o'clock is when she's setting up to make a move. Again, today it happened at 7:30. I might actually make another Excel sheet tracking this time. So when I start to feel myself and tell myself that I'm this awesome gold trader, and I start trading past a certain time, I can remind myself that no, all gold setups happen around the same time and they end around the same time. Gold is a scripper though. Nah, GC be doing more than that. Gold be doing more than that. She'll empty you out. She'll take your soul. She'll take your soul away from you. And all I'm looking for gold is just 9 points a day. That's it. I'm cool with just 9 points. Even though, I mean, it goes further than that. I'm just cool with 9 points. Just collect these 9 points a day. Get in and out with gold. And just come back and do it the next day. Take Fridays off in the funded account so I can store up some mental and emotional capital. But that's for every instrument. I don't trade my funded accounts on Fridays just to give myself a break into the weekend. Just trade evals on Friday. So, I mean, if I lose an eval, I'm not going to cry about it or nothing. Man, you know we gotta love these hoes, man. We gotta love them, cause ain't nobody else will. We gotta love these hoes, cause nobody else will. So we gotta love them. You say you was sick, 1,200 gone. You was trading a My Funded Futures account. You know, it's been a while since I've had a My Funded Futures account. Ever since they never fixed that issue. I can only trade My Funded Futures on Tradeovate, and I just lost love for the prop firm. They never fixed it. I don't even think they know how to fix it. I think it was probably something that, like, when they was converting the accounts to a live account, something must have happened, and I can't even trade on Ninja Trader 8 with My Funded Futures. So I don't like Tradeovate. So with that core account, I was considering. I mean, I did tell Alfred earlier today that I'm done with evals. Moving forward, I'm going straight to funded and copy trading, straight to funded with small size. Uh, Even though this has been around in Apex, the crazy thing is about and I think this is why Apex is so successful, because Apex, a lot of people say that Apex forces you to, or it conditions you to gamble, which is true. It's true. But Apex also tells you to buy multiple accounts, trade small size, and spread your risk. At least earlier on. I don't think they talk like this anymore, but when Apex was first came out and they was dropping those little videos and stuff like that, they tell you to buy multiple accounts and spread your risk. And if you really think about it, the most successful traders are doing just that, spreading their risk across multiple accounts and earning what, $200 or $300 a day, daily, $200 goal, which is easily obtainable, trading small size, getting a payout in each account at the end of it, because they're telling you the truth, but they're also giving you the rope to hang yourself if you're a gambler. So they know that only a few people are going to trade these accounts correctly, and everybody else is just going to pay Apex's bills. They're not lying to you. They're just giving you the rope to hang yourself with. That's all they're doing. These other firms, I mean, now they're getting into, like, I'm starting to see a lot of the the payout structure favor buying multiple accounts. With these cap payouts, uh, without them telling you to do it, you're going to do the math and say, damn, I'm trading in this account for X amount of days. And even if I get to the, like as an example, the first 7, 10, however many days that you have to trade, your payout is going to be capped. And for those that are trying to make as much money as possible, as soon as possible, the next logical step in your thought process would be to copy trade. I mean, it makes sense. And with that in mind, and I take a look at their payout structure, and it's like, okay, that makes sense. They want you to buy multiple accounts and copy trade them, or at least buy multiple accounts. Because which account is it? Yeah, I know. I didn't like Tradeify initially because they wanted you to trade 10 days, 35% consistency rule, and in their 50K accounts, the most you could take out was $1,500, which 10 days for $1,500 is not. Yeah, that's not even worth it. They reduced it to 7, so it's just a little bit. It's better, but still. But I am enjoying their 150K straight to funded accounts though, at a discount. I don't buy it full price. I will always wait for the discount. Hmm. You said you wish they had. I thought they did. They don't have a 25K account. I thought they did. And are you more comfortable trading the 25K? Uh, I thought they did have a 25K. Mm, all right, I stand corrected. Maybe they don't. End of day, trade day X. Okay, yeah, I guess they don't. Yeah, they don't. Mm. Okay, so yeah, I thought so. I thought so. And you know what? Mm. You say you're cool with $200 to $300 a day? Yeah, in these smaller accounts, like these 50K accounts, uh, making $200, like, so I've been doing the math, and if you make $360 a day for 25 days, that's $9,000. So uh, if you have a smaller account, like a 50K account, and you trade it correctly, and you're making $360 a day, Or shit, even $300 a day for 25 days is $7,500. Wait a minute, that's a big jump. But $300 for 30 days, that's about 9,000. 360 times 30, that's about 10,000. So, uh, if you're trading, if you're getting $360 a day at a minimum, depending on, I mean, shit, $10,000 covers any size. $9,000 covers any size. So 360 at a 30-day mark is 10,800. And at the end of the month, if you look at it from a monthly point of view, you'll get paid. I mean, you'll be able to take the biggest payout because not only will you be over the threshold, but you'll have a lot of room. And if you're making $300 a day, then you shouldn't be losing more than half of that. So, as an example, if I'm looking for $360 a day, I shouldn't lose more than $180, which $180 over a 30-day time period is only $5,400. So, well, obviously, if you had at a 50K, the account has been blown, obviously. But if you have a bigger account, losing $180 a day, a 54. Hold on, do we even hold on? Is there an account with a is there an account? I don't think there's an account with a with $5,400 a drawdown aside from the Apex accounts. I mean, outside of Apex, I don't think any prop firm really offers a $5,400 drawdown. Mm. So yeah, so actually, let's see. If you lose $180, let's just say just for 25. So in 13 trades, you'll blow the account in 13 trades. $2,500. You said that the $3,000 feels like it's moving away from you. You may go back to trading 1 minute. You know what? I will say this. Actually, well, I mean, well, Investor Z. Well, I guess you're trading what ES. Yeah, I mean, I think you moved away from the Nasdaq, so you're not trading. Yeah. So the account that's the stream account, I only trade Nasdaq. I used to trade 5 contracts, but now I've reduced that to 4. But I mean, still trading 5 contracts, micro contracts. I'm up like 11, almost $12,000 in this account, and I've had this account for at least 12, 13 days. So I'm not oversizing in this account. I mean, I trade this account with y'all guys every day, every morning. I'm not oversizing. And in 12 days, I grew this account to about $12,000. So I guess it depends on how fast are you trying to pass the account, because uh, this account definitely shows that you can make $12,000 in minis. Shit, Smith, he started with $500 and he grew it to $5,000 in less than a week, and a personal account, traded micros. But I had a tough conversation with myself over the weekend, and this is why now I'm adamant about no longer trading minis in these accounts. Now, there will be some tilt moments. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm going to be perfect about it, obviously. There's going to be some tilt moments. But If I had a $2,500 personal account, we all know that we wouldn't be able to trade minis at all. If I had a $50,000 account, then maybe trading 1 to 3 minis would obviously be the move for that account because your account size would be able to handle it. But we're managing $2,500 probably, well, depending on, well, I guess let's just use eight. Well, my funded futures is also $2,500. Uh, anyway, for the most part, outside of a few outliers, for the 50K account, we're managing a $2,000 drawdown, a $3,000 drawdown, and at most $4,500 of drawdown. That's what we're managing. And if you had a 45, 3,000, $1,500 account, you wouldn't be able to trade a mini. Depending on if, well, I guess it really depends on whatever broker you have. There are a lot of discount brokers that will allow you to do it, but it's very predatory because they know that you'll blow your account instantly. But with that in mind and trading with that mindset, trading with minis in a $2,000 account, I mean, that's super gambling. Uh, it makes sense why every time I put on a trade, I would second guess it because I had to consider if I'm wrong here, then that means that I could potentially lose this account. And before I finally accepted this mindset, I was trying to find ways to circumvent this feeling of the, I guess, this fear of death feeling for these accounts, because I wanted to feel confident in the face of danger, and that danger was blowing my account if the trade went against me. And obviously, I got to this conclusion with the help of the pain of continuously blowing accounts and starting over. I mean, it's nice when you're on a streak, you're oversized, you're getting paid out. But man, is it mentally challenging to start over. And I'm already at that point where I just hate starting over now. I just hate it. So I'm just going to trade the smaller size. Damn, really? Robinhood has a 22K minimum to trade in Q? I was about to say that. Yeah, Alfred, yeah, you're absolutely correct. They require a large account size to trade futures, trade evading AMP, have lower margin requirements. And from their standpoint, they will say that they're allowing traders with small accounts the opportunity to participate in these markets. But they know damn well that they should have not allowing you to be trading minis. If they actually believed what they were saying or what they were trying to sell, they will only have you be able to trade micros. They wouldn't allow you to even load an NQ chart if they were serious about you being able to participate and earning your way to trading a full mini. But futures is, I mean, outside of a prop firm, futures is not something to play with. You can literally put on a position and lose more money than your actual value of the account. This thing is not for the weak. It, anybody that was short here in a personal account that has not covered their position, they're wishing and hoping for a pullback, because as the market continues to go against their position, they can risk not only the market not coming back and losing all of their money, but owing the broker money. Just imagine owing $10,000 to the broker on something or on in an account that you never had $10,000 in the first place, just because you didn't want to close it. Now they'll margin call you. I mean, obviously, if you don't have the margin to in the account to cover the position, they do their best to close the position, and they won't allow you to swing without a certain amount. But if you have the amount of money to swing, you find yourself on the wrong time or on the wrong side during that hour break, and the market gaps up against you, and you're down, and now you have to owe money. They'll probably close you out and send you a bill. But we already know how to fix that problem. We know that deleting the app that solves the problem. You delete the app, and they'll never be able to find you. Even though they have all your personal information, they'll never be able to find you as long as you delete that app. All the professionals know this. Prop firms, brokers hate it. They hate it when you do this one simple trick: delete the app. Okay. Damn, 33,000. I'm pretty sure it's 33,000 now, because the NQ is going crazy. Dude, this like so. Actually, let's talk about that. As much, even though it felt like it was the end of the world today on the Nasdaq, that the Nasdaq only traded 148 points to the upside, and it only dropped 183 points to the downside today. Even though it felt like the end of the world, we only had a 148 point move to the upside, and we only had a 183 point drop. And then we had the market chopping the range going into the close. That's it. Yep, the Bears, the Bulls is not going to let this go. They're not going to let it go. The Bulls only give up a move like this with a fight. The Bears are going to have to get super aggressive, but we all know that these Rainbow Bears are only here to get in the way. That's all they're here for. They're not here to contribute to the market. They're only here to get in the way. The Bears just wanted their revenge from this move right here. That's all they wanted. And when they were given the keys to the market today, at first you can see that they knocked it down, but then they just completely gave the damn thing up. I was telling Smith earlier today that these Rainbow Bears, they never hold a pullback, but they get super aggressive when everybody is long. How rainbow can you be? How rainbow can you be? When we're on your side, we don't see no aggression. We see no follow through. We see failed attempts to complete the Bears' market objective. The Bears always fit, or not always, but 9 times out of 10, the Bears are going to fail to complete their market objective. And that could be a double bottom retest. That could be a holding the pullback or breaking structure to the downside and holding it. They seem to always fail their market objective. But when everybody's bullish and everybody's trying to buy the dip, that's when they get super aggressive. Rainbow behavior. And I got caught up this morning trying to buy a pullback. And actually, yeah, I don't think I had so yeah, I think this is it right here. Yeah, initially this was a winning position, and then the Rainbow Bears came in, and unfortunately I got stopped out of this one for a loss. And then I think this one, yeah, the Bears, yeah, they were super rainbow today. Damn, Gameway, seems like you always got to deal with haters, huh? At first, you was telling your bear friends that stop being bears and become bulls. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Hey, I mean, shit. How often? I mean, dude, the Bears don't ever finish their objective, man. And Cave Trader, we could potentially. I mean, we potentially could see some upside. But looking at this higher time frame chart, this looking like, at least for right now, we could see a deeper pullback. We're getting, I mean, dude, we're way above uh the previous all-time highs. Sorry, excuse me. We're way above the all-time highs. We have no price action to the left. We have no reference. Nobody with trillions of dollars under asset is going to buy these highs. I don't even think that they're allowed to. I don't even think that there's the liquidity up here for big institutions to buy this move. And we all know that the big money, the big institutions are the ones that move these markets. We're only allowed to participate to hold the bag. But for those that follow in the footsteps of these institutions to get and just go along for the ride, we don't get to hold the bag. But everybody else does. And that's the only reason why we're allowed to participate. So these candles are telling me that there's a lot of indecision up here. It doesn't look there seems to be an unwillingness to continue higher. We do have job data coming out tomorrow. PPI, I mean PPI hasn't been anything of significance ever. If it's after CPI, no one cares about PPI. But if we get the PPI release before the CPI release, that's usually when we see the market react to PPI because usually it's in line with CPI. But the job data is going to be really what the market is going to be paying attention to because this is what's going to potentially determine if Powell is going to cut rates at the upcoming meeting. So definitely keep your eye on that 7 o'clock job data release. And then on Friday, I think Alfred said that we could potentially have quad witching on Friday or OPEX. Let's see, quad witching OPEX calendar. You say you left them on red gain weight? Nah, I would have sent them my P&L. I would have sent them my P&L. Said, what was I for real? Shit, does this look real enough for you right here? Yeah. Gainwell was right this morning. He said that his charts told him to short. My heart told me to go long. Unfortunately, the charts won yet again. Yet again. So September 19th, June 20th. So we don't have a quad witching until next week. or next month. All right, so okay, August, yeah, August 15th. So we have the monthly expiration or monthly expiring equity and PM settled index options cease tradings. Or hold on. Oh, not never mind. That's just the circle. So the expiring cash settled currency options cease trading at 12 o'clock. And then we got the square. So monthly equities, index, and cash settled currency options expiration date. All right. So we're gonna have some contracts expiring this Friday. That tells me that if buyers have to close out their positions, we all know that they got to sell their way out of their bullish positions, out of their long positions. So we could potentially see price drop. Potentially, potentially we could see that. So I'll definitely keep an eye out for that. Definitely keep an eye out for that because they're gonna have to sell their way out of their position. So that could just ignite some selling. Hmm. I'll follow my rules here. I'm not going to enter a new position at oh shit. Ooh, 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 ooh. I did not know that I had that lingering contract there. Okay. And this is my gold account for Apex. So I'm going to be copy trading these two accounts with gold. With Apex, Apex is the only firm or is the only account that I'm going to trade 7 contracts with because I have a 20K profit target goal. But when I move to a funded account, I'll probably also trade these with 4 micro contracts. Yeah, I'll probably still trade these with 4 micro contracts. Yeah, honestly, I should trade it with 4 micro contracts. But in the eval stage, I'll trade 7. All right. Oh man, nice one, gold. Nice one. Nice one. I should be good, but it's just the audacity of gold to do that shit. It's just the audacity, man. 23. Well, hmm, let me see something real quick because if I got the tippity top on this move, 23.8, 14.8, 14.8, 14. Okay, I would have got my target hit. Yeah, I would have got it hit. So if I got in at 22.6 though, 13.6. Uh, damn, that's crazy. So if I got in at 22.6, well, I guess it never really came back to my break even though. I mean, I would have to, so 4 ticks before my profit, it would have pushed back up 6 points, and then I would have got tagged out. Interesting. Gold. Interesting. I know you tagged it. Yeah, you tagged my limit. Yeah, she tagged it. I mean, you can't get more tagged than that. There it goes. My God, dude. What's up with my target that the market always seems to dance around it? Like, what's up with that? You said it's Ninja Trader. Do you really think that there's because I swear, dude, no matter where my target is, the market literally stops at my target and considers if it wants to touch it or not, if it wants to fill the order or not. I swear, man. I wonder if they got some code that says if you if you detect a limit order, miss it by a tick and bounce. All right. You think so? Honestly, Gameway, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised, man. How often has my break even become super support and super resistance? How often has that happened? How often has it happened when we see the market grind up or to the downside? We patiently wait for a pullback that never comes, and the market continues to reward buyers that buy high so they can sell it higher. And then when you just can't take it no more, pause. Diddy. No Diddy. When you've just dang, you can't even say nothing when you've had enough. When you can't take it no more, you've had enough. When the FOMO becomes overwhelming, I think that's safe right there. When it shit, when it becomes too much. When it becomes too much. That's hilarious. Anyway, so when being overwhelmed by FOMO, and as soon as you get in, that's when the market you top tick the top, and then it completely reverses. Completely. No pullback, no nothing. It just goes against you. And you're like, well, damn. Damn. It's like that. Like, damn. Damn. Well, like I said, I almost did that yesterday, man. I almost got stopped out, man. I did that yesterday, man. Where is it at? 9/11. And I thought man, if I wasn't stubborn in this, because obviously it went further. But yeah, this is like 9/11. Yeah, right here. Dude, as soon like I literally bought the top of this move right here, man. I saw it bounce off the 21, and so I was like, fine, I'm gonna get into it, man, because this thing has just been riding 21, and that's when the market stopped. As soon as I got into this damn thing, man, and dude, it was perfect. I was like, well, damn. It was like, shit, we got him. He actually did it. We got him. We got him. And I had to endure about, dude, it like this was only what 20, 30 minutes. Man, this felt like forever. This small little block of price action felt like forever. And then obviously I bought the top. It pulls back to the 50. Good thing I had a limit attached to the 50 that got filled that brought my average entry down, and I was able to catch this pop going back up, and I just got out of it cuz I was like, man, this is why I don't want to do this anymore. This was stressful. That was stressful. I didn't want to do it anymore. And I don't want to. You get tired of buying the top and having to wait for price to decide if it's going to be merciful to you or not. You get tired of it. Mhm. You're saying top dollar for my market data. Sim farming. So I had an initial entry, I believe, around like 10 or something like that. My stop would be Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Honestly, if I see this, I'm not gonna take these trades, man. I'm not gonna take. I'm gonna pass on these trades because these trades don't seem to be. They don't seem to be reliable. They don't seem to be reliable. If I see like a big move trade, I probably might trade closer to the low because we could potentially see price come back down here and sweep the lows a little bit and then probably make their way back up on this. We could potentially see that. Inverse the Sherm indicator, huh? Sherm's going long. Short it, short it, short it. Man, this one, it never really pulled back. It never pulled back from this. Yeah, that shit always seems to happen though. It always seems to kind of go back closer to the low. Like when it makes a like if it makes like a big move and it doesn't pull back, this always tends to happen. So mm, next time I'm going to start doing that. Mm. I'll look at this. Oh yeah, my bad, Alfred. Okay, so Alfred was he pointed out that RTY or the Russell respects the orb as well. We definitely, I mean, shit, all the Russell traders today, god damn, dude. Or shit, that was yesterday. I guess every market was doing this though, breaking out to the upside. And this was a nice break and retest trade on the Russell today, I think. This today? Yeah, this was a great break and retest trade right here. My boy Alfred says that he's going to try the Russell out on the orb. Hmm. Orb high was 308. Damn. So 7 points. So this right here was a 7 point move to the upside. Hmm. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty dirty. That's pretty dirty. A lot of people got stopped out of this move before this happened. That was pretty dirty. Hold on. So, that's interesting. So, as the Nasdaq and ES sold off, money was put into the Russell? That's how that works? Because I guess if you were a bull today, then I guess you should have been on the Russell. Because it seems like that was the only instrument that pushed up today, and everything else kind of dropped. And you said each point is $50 on the Russell too. So that's very interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, it looks like the range was a better play here on the Russell though. The last couple of days trading the range because it didn't break out of this range at all. It looks like it broke out of yesterday's or August 10th. So on August 12th, it broke out of Friday's orb or August 10th's orb, made a new orb, and then broke out above that. So it's very similar to the ES I see. And then you got this breakdown right here that never came back. Uh, it missed. He said, "How do I not still know the market works?" I know money rotates from one sector to another, but I try not to get too in deep or too involved that way because it's not like my money moves this market. I try to keep it as simple as possible. Just try to keep it as simple as possible. I thought I will say that the Russell, I thought that would be more correlated with the Nasdaq and ES, but I thought it'd be more correlated with that, but I guess not. I guess not. Okay. So, which markets do you focus on, gain weight? Hey, what's up, Tony? What's up? We just had a gold plate. I just got filled. we were able to. I saw that the market swept this high and didn't continue. It didn't look like it wanted to, so I came back in and shorted this using Santiago. So I'm starting to find success, or not new success, but I'm starting to see the market likes to create ranges and then come back to about 50% of the range. I see that the market likes to do that a lot. But like I said, I just keep it simple. I just trade the closest fib to structure. Closest fib to structure. That's how I do it. Just keeping it simple. But I do see that when price comes back into a range, it usually goes at least 50% into that range before you see a reversal of some kind. Hmm. Okay. Well, I guess it's about that time. It's about that time. All I will say is that, man, today was definitely not one of those days to trade against the orb. I fought against the orb, and the orb won today. I fought against the rainbow bears, and they were successful today. I had to accept two losses, back-to-back losses in the Nasdaq today. I know that today was account collection for the Nasdaq today, but I told the Nasdaq no, no. You got to tell the Nasdaq no when she's passing that plate around to collect those account sacrifice. You got to tell her no. She is a siren, and she has a beautiful song. She lures traders with volatility and easy money. And before you know it, when you're mesmerized by her song and she crashes your accounts into the blown rocks, when you had enough, when you have enough, had enough, you tell her no. And I'm telling the Nasdaq no. You can't have my account. You can't have it. All right. So between 8:55, 8:58. Wow, that was 3 minutes. Damn. That was shit. That happened all in 3 minutes. God damn. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. 24,028 minus All right. So between 855, 858, the MNQ closed below the opening range low and traded 23 points to the downside before pulling back to the 21 EMA where price found resistance. Then traded 162 points to the downside going into the close of the session. Man, 162 points down. You know, hmm, initial break, 858, successful break of structure. Uh, that's interesting. So we got the break low around 856 during yesterday's session, and then we got the break around 858 to the low earlier in today's session. That's interesting. Usually we're gonna usually find that break before the 9 o'clock algo. For the most part, is happening before. We do have situations where obviously we got some outlier information where it's happening afterwards, but for the most part, it looks like it's happening before the 9 o'clock algo. Break low. Initial reaction. It was a break and retest. Results 162. No. 162. All right. We had one line today. One line. Well, not necessarily one line, but one entry. All right. But with as much, I mean, with the volume, I had a feeling that we was probably not going to see a move higher today, but I definitely did not trust the lows. So we started the session off with 210 contracts at 8:30. We only had 74,000 contracts added in that first 15 minutes of that orb. So I was already under the assumption that we was not going to see too much of a move higher. My initial thesis and the main reason why I fought the orb and the orb won was the market left this range right here. We had a breaker structure to the upside. You can see the bulls tried to buy this thing. They tried to buy it, but unfortunately, they failed to hold it, and we had price trade to the downside. What I initially thought was that we was going to see price retest the orb, potentially retest this little pivot high right here, and probably get somewhere in this area right here. And this is what I was initially looking for, not necessarily seeing a breakout from the highs because the volume, we didn't have enough volume for a breakout. So that's not what I was looking for. Unfortunately, the market said, nah, we're just going to just grind to the downside the entire day. And I had a follow-up entry. And my concern with this was that as the bulls were trying to hold this, there was just no follow through. So that, I mean, It looked like it could have been a great trade, but there was just no follow through from the Bulls. The Bulls just kind of just said, you know what, we'll just come back tomorrow after we get the data, after we get the data release. And that's basically what the market did. Said the market is Debo, Nasdaq is Debo. That's my account, fool. It's my account, fool. But yeah. And I'm glad I stayed away from the market today. I'm glad that I accepted, or let me rephrase that. I have a 2 trade rule, and that 2 trade rule is going to prolong my account at least 15 days. Uh, at least 15. I'm allowed 1 trade following a setup, and a follow up trade also a setup. So both of these trades are supposed to be setup trades. Now, uh, it doesn't matter if I lose 2 trades in a row, or if I lose 2 trades in a row, I'm shutting down for the day. I'm not going to get my money back. I'm just going to allow the red day to happen. If I win one, lose one, then I'm still only allowed to trade 2 times a day. But if my first trade is a winner, then I am not allowed to take a follow up trade. The reason why I'm not allowing myself to take a follow up trade, or potentially, well, I'll give myself the opportunity to re-add at my initial entry. If I get my first target hit of now 2 contracts, I'm allowing myself to add 2 more contract, or set 2 more limits at my original entry, just in case the Nasdaq wants to pull back to my break even, allowing me to make more money in the trade. But once that trade closes, then I'm not allowed to take a follow up trade. That's going to allow me to keep the accounts as long as possible and allow them to grow over time. I will try my best not to trade on tilt in these accounts. I will try my best. I will hold myself up to account. But boy, does it man, it really hurts when a move happens without you, or if you get stopped out of something and then it goes in your direction, and it's just so easy just to throw a punch back at the market because it hit you first. And it's definitely a challenge to adhere to your rules, but uh, man, it's definitely challenging. It definitely is. It definitely is. It's my account, fool. Man, my grandma got me that account. uh, mm, Actually, let's look at that before we end tonight. Before we go to club bed. Club bed. Actually, probably I should save this. I should probably put a bookmark on this one so I can. Uh, I don't want to bookmark all tabs. I just want to bookmark this. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Actually, let me see what if the CFTC data. Okay. And let me see if they're up to date. Okay, so I think no, they're not up to date. Or are they up to date? If they're up to date, then I can potentially. Okay, so yeah, I think they're up to date. Yeah. So I mean, I'm not gonna do it this week, but I'll make sure that I put in all the data, and so we can have it available for next week. Because the CFTC data be slacking after these holidays. It takes them a couple of weeks just to update this information, and the CFTC data is not. You need to have this data before the week starts, so you know how to what to look for. I mean, it's not necessary, but the CFTC data has not been wrong. There hasn't been a week where we had so usually the institutions are about what 59% long during the weeks where they're like 60 above the average. This is when we have big moves in the market. When you have the volume above average position sizing. Sometimes the net positioning could be hit or miss. I know earlier in the year, when you had about there were 39, 40%, 30 contracts net long. Earlier in the year, we saw really big moves, or early last year. I apologize, but you can see that the market here and there has less than or has an average of around 24,000 contracts. So usually when we see contracts above that average, we know that we're going to get a big move, and we should focus our trades in that direction. And we'll look at the Fed Watch tool because it's at 99.9% chance that we could see a rate cut. I'm pretty sure this is going to change tomorrow. Pretty sure. Did something happen? Oh no, that can't be right. Did something happen? Did we get data or something that would suggest that we're not going to see a rate cut anymore? Because now this thing, it was at 99.9% chance. Oh, okay, okay. I see what they did. Okay. All right. I was about to say, like, what the hell? I see what they did. So now they think that we could potentially see a 50 basis point cut. They're thinking that now there's a 4% chance that we could potentially see a 50. Now, my assumption, the reason why a lot of speculators are now speculating, or let me rephrase that. In my assumption, the reason why market participants are now speculating that we could potentially see a 50 basis point cut is because the Fed promised that we could expect, or we should expect, at least 3 this year. And we haven't gotten one because Powell is basing his decision on the data that he receives. Apparently, and this is I mean, I guess it's been proven. I guess you can call it a conspiracy, but it's been proven. But I guess the director at the Labor Statistics Bureau has been pushing out false job data that how do I want to say this? That solidifies Powell's position to not cut rates because the job data was inaccurate. The non-farm payrolls data showed that the data was wrong. That's why Trump fired the dude, and that's why he was going after Powell and saying like, "Yo, Powell, you need to cut rates." Blah blah blah. Anyway, so now that the market believes that we're going to get a 25 basis cut, we have 3 more meetings this year. We have the one in September, October, and then December. Will we see a rate cut at each meeting? That is the question. That is the question. Will tomorrow's job data, will that be bad enough to the point where we could potentially see a 50 basis point cut? And with these cuts, then the housing market will be a lot better because the housing market is too expensive to buy a house. Trump has said that plenty of times. It is kind of expensive. Those that bought their properties during COVID when interest rates were super low, or when they were basically giving out loans for free, again, congratulations, because we probably might never see those interest rates at that side or at that rate for a very long time, unless a miracle happens. But yeah, congratulations for those that took advantage of those small interest rates for homes. So, but okay, guys, that's it for me. Just make sure that you pay attention to the job data that's coming out around 7:30, and then also PPI. So we could see a small reaction and then a big one. We don't know. We just have to trade the reaction to this news. Try not to gamble it. But that's all for me. We'll definitely come back tomorrow morning, and we'll definitely look for more opportunities to earn some more money. And with that said, peace out, everybody. Have a good night.